Hi everyone, Angus Pryor from Dental Profit System bringing you this week's Marketing Monday, the weekly show designed to give you actionable tips to boost the marketing at your dental practice. This week we've got a question from a couple of different people, so it must be a hot topic. It's from Dr. Rodney in Tassie and Dr. Greg in Brisbane, so a shout out to you two. And the topic, of course, social media. Now, before we get into how to do social media well, I just need to explain a couple of things about social media. Firstly, what is it? Well, social media is the collective term for Facebook, Twitter, Google+, a whole range, Snapchat, the list goes on. The second part about social media is I need you to understand from a marketing point of view that social media has two different roles. One can be to bring in new patients and the other can be to engage existing patients, and that is quite a different strategy for those two things. Anyway, bearing that in mind, let's look at a couple of ways you can get the best out of your social media. First point, choose one or two. My view is, and certainly the data supports, that Facebook is probably your best bet for dentistry, simply because there's a very high number of Australians who are on Facebook, and because it's an easy medium for you to use, and the demographic for Facebook is pretty broad, which means almost no matter what. I mean, if you had a dental practice that was exclusively focusing on teenagers or early 20s or something, you might go for Snapchat, which has got a much younger demographic, but Facebook's probably going to cover your bases. The other aspect is that because there are so many different social media types out there, people sometimes feel this obligation, I need to be on them all, and my advice to you is no, you don't. Choose one or two and do them really well. Now, if you're looking for a second one, if you're on Facebook and that's going well, a second one's probably, believe it or not, Google+. The reason for that is because if you've got a Google business page, then your involvement on Google+ is actually rewarded by Google, curiously enough. And so therefore, even though in some ways not that many people have got Google+ pages, you're getting that extra benefit of giving a boost to your Google business page, so that when someone types in, suburb name dentist, that increases the chance that your page, your business, and the Google business page is going to appear in the listings. Point number 2, consistency. I cannot emphasize this enough. This is another reason why you should only go for one or two of the different social media types, because consistency, it's a long-term game. You can use social media for bringing in new patients, no question, and there's advertising you can do, a bit like AdWords with Google. That's a completely different strategy. In terms of engaging your existing clients, though, consistency is the key. You want to try and keep your business top of mind for them. A few little things you can do to make that easier is you can schedule your posts. For example, with Facebook, you can schedule them in advance, which means you could do a week's worth at one time. The second thing you can do to adopt that consistency is have in your mind that a certain day of the week means a particular topic. For example, you might say Monday, it's always going to be a fun photo. Tuesday is going to be news, if someone's getting married or they've had a baby, or maybe a client's came in on their birthday. And if you can allocate one day to each topic, it makes it a lot easier to have the material, because one of the things that happens after a few weeks, you go, well, what am I going to post? And if you can know, well, Monday's always going to be a photo or a cartoon or something, then that's an easy way. The third thing you can do is have a file on your hard drive, so that anytime anything comes up, and indeed that's what I do for this show, anytime something comes up I think, oh, that'd be good for Marketing Monday, I've got that Word document, I'll just type it in and it's there for when I need to do it. So, action steps. Have a look at your social media, what you're doing currently. If you're on Facebook, go and get an idea of how often you've been posting. And secondly, get an idea of what sort of interest you've had from people. Now, while you can definitely use social media to promote an offer that you've got on, the word is social, which means that people are mainly there for kind of fun or interest. So with that in mind, don't be using your social media to be flogging your services every day of the week. People will unfriend you very quickly. Once a week is fine as long as you've got some other good content. So go and have a look at what you've got, think how you're doing in that way, and see if you can work out a way to be more consistent. If you need a hand, get across to dentalprofitsystem.com, send us an email, we'd be happy to get in touch. All right, that's it for this week for Dr. Rodney and Dr. Greg. I hope that's helpful for you and your team. Angus Price signing off. See you next week for Marketing Monday.